Fitness and movement. We know it's important to our overall health. So why aren't more of us doing it? Only about 1 in 5 people get the recommended amount of exercise every week, and we need to change that. Hello and welcome to Living Well with Robin Stoloff, empowering you to live a healthier life. I am so happy to welcome Lorelle Ciccita. She is the owner of Forza Fitness, now operating 100% online. Thanks so much for joining us, Lorelle.
Thanks for having me.
So you and I have both been kind of fitness people pretty much our whole lives. We just kind of got the bug early in our lives, but a lot of people haven't. And you hear so many different reasons. Time, exercise hurts, I don't know what to do. There's a lot of different reasons people aren't doing it, but it is so vital. Especially, I always say you really need cardio and weights, but you really, it's one of the things I think is lacking is doing the resistance training or weights in a lot of people. So talk to us about the benefits of fitness and how we can get people a little bit more interested into it.
Um, so many benefits, right down to better breathing, better being. It's obviously you're going to live longer. There's so many studies that talk about now, if you even start after 50, like the life expectancy and how much optimal movement you're going to get after that. So there's no certain time that you have to be starting, but there's just way more benefits than not doing it at all.
Absolutely. I
Um,
know disease prevention and people getting off their meds. So many people are on
yeah.
prescription medications. Just not, I mean, of course we all want to look good, but it's so much more than that. It's so much more than just, fitting into your jeans a little bit better. It's your health and it's your energy level as well. Don't you
Mhm.
find that when people really get into the program, they have more energy?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. They sleep better. They can pretty much operate their entire life at a different level. If you're continuing a workout program, and that doesn't mean it has to be an intense thing. It's just having something to do daily that entails movement and mobility, stretching, cardio.
Yes, because a lot of times people have said, and I have a knee that kind of gives me some trouble, but it hurts more when I don't do anything. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting for a long period of time, my knee hurts more than if I'm walking or playing tennis or out doing something because our bodies were meant to move. We're
Yeah,
meant
that's such
to
a good
move.
point. A lot of people come to me and they say, I overdid it this weekend. I have an injury. Like Thanksgiving, I stood all day on Thursday cooking. I got that 3 times today. And after we did our training or our class, everybody felt better. And it's amazing. Like we have this limiting belief that if we move, it's going to get worse, but actually it's going to help you so much more than if you don't.
I always say, I've never done a workout and left saying, I wish I didn't do that. I
Mm-hmm.
always feel
Yeah.
better. I always do. But the
Yeah.
hardest part of the whole thing, I think, for people, and we live in a society that doesn't help. Let's face it. I mean, it's geared upon fast food and quick convenience. People work lots of hours many times, and
Mm-hmm.
they just don't seem to make the time to get it in. And the hardest part of it is just getting your sneakers on, taking that first step and getting started.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you help motivate people? You're working with them all online now because after COVID, you closed your physical location and you've been
Mm-hmm.
able to maintain a good clientele. How do you keep them motivated?
We find your why. We find this mentality of why are we choosing to get strong right now? Why are we choosing to wake up early when it's dark out, or find time in the busy lifestyle to just move? And we get emotional about it. So for a lot of women, it comes down to like their grandkids or their personal children themselves, just to have the energy to continue to move with their kids, no matter really what their age is, even if they're adults. So that's just an example, but just finding someone's why. Why are you choosing to get healthier, and have a visual of it? Let's get to mindset training and really like see yourself at your optimal sacred space, your temple, what your body looks like and feels like in order to like make that movement happen. And tapping into that zone, it is really just the startup to where we go in our program, to to see not even just the end game, but like your enjoyment of why you're doing it.
Do you find that it motivates people more when they have a partner or other people to work out with? They're kind of more accountable.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Even if it's somebody that you don't know. For example, we have a motivational group with our program, and we, half of our clientele does the recordings. They're not always live, and they'll comment, motivating other clients to do the class or training and to feel great on Monday after a long weekend and get it done. So if you see other people doing it and kind of inspiring you to get it done, it's just, it feels good. Like you want to tell everybody, I did it today.
That's
So
funny
it's
that you should say
helpful.
that because that's kind of how I feel. In fact, that is why I started doing this at the young age of 21, and now I'm 59. I've been doing this forever. First on television, now on radio, and I'm doing my podcast because I want everyone to know. I want to get the word out, not
Yeah.
just fitness, but eating a little healthier. I mean, just those two things right there. Our overall diet and just taking a little time to move our bodies 3 times at least a week can make such a difference. People can feel better, get off their meds, as you said, sleep better. They're going to have more confidence. They're going to, if their goal is to lose weight, they will lose some weight and they'll feel better in
Mhm.
their clothes. Just everything. Your breathing, being able to go up a flight of steps, every single thing in your life gets better when you
Mhm.
move and when you're fit and when you just, take that effort. And, the beauty of it is because it takes effort, that's what makes it so special. If it were easy, everybody would be doing
Yeah.
it.
And if I can just add on to that, if you get to that point where everything's, feeling better, you're moving better, you're a better mom, you're a better daughter, you're a better friend, wife, and the list goes on. You're a better worker. And I think people forget that it's going to impact literally everything in your life.
Absolutely. So why aren't more people doing it? They're just not getting it. They don't feel like it. They don't know how. Do you think all of those reasons?
Well, you just said it's hard. It's hard to do all of that.
Yeah.
It's hard to change your habits. It's hard to want to move at first because it's unknown. And the question goes, okay, well, how do I move? What do I do? And I think if you're not going to seek a professional to help you, you just start walking. Walking
Hmm.
is so underrated. Just go out for 1 mile or 20 minutes, get fresh air and take in the sun. But just start somewhere. Choose a road. We were talking a little bit about before. You can't really go wrong with what fitness you choose. So there's so many resources available that you can get an outlet from, and find what you like, find what feels good, and it's fun for you, something that inspires you to want to show up. But of course, the little detail is you can't get around the benefits of weight training. I mean,
Yes, I
finding the
agree with
type of
that.
weight training you like would be really, really beneficial. Um,
I agree with that. Let's talk about that. I mean, it is important to get our cardio, and walking is totally underrated. I walk all the time, especially with my family. It's such a nice thing to do together. Bicycling, swimming. People are playing pickleball now because
yes, it's
it's an
huge.
easy thing to pick up for people and it's a
Yeah.
game and it's social. Great, great way to get some physical fitness. But we do have to include, one thing that I think especially a lot of women may not feel as comfortable with, and that's resistance training or weight training.
Mm.
Even just having a pair of dumbbells or a set of bands in your home, you can do so much. So let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about why it's so important to include resistance training, especially as we get older.
Yeah, you can just increase your bone density, your overall strength. Um, you can just move better with being strong.
Hmm.
And I think that's certainly coming out more often in studies, where we used to say like stretching is going to help you move better. Right now, it's getting strong and being able to hold weight and hold that resistance that's going to allow you to operate better.
That is so true. And as we get older, there's a little little word called sarcopenia, where we lose muscle over time. And
Mhm.
and it accelerates as we get older. So more
Mhm.
important than ever, it's more important than ever as we age to include some weight training in
Mhm.
our lives. And also it helps to, if you are trying to lose weight, it does contribute in some ways. I mean, the actual act of doing it. And also when you have more muscle on your body, a little more percentage of muscle, a little less percentage of fat, it does help you
Mhm.
burn some more calories during the day. So that
Mhm.
you can't go wrong with that. So what
Oh
do you
yeah.
do with someone when they come to you and they say, I don't know. I mean, I've never done this before. What do I do? This is just seems so hard, or I don't know really where to start.
Um, I tap into their why first and foremost. Why are they choosing to get stronger and taking this road? I tap into what they like to do physically, so I will direct their first initial program into the classes and trainings that they quote unquote like to do. And then, so we set up a doable schedule. We make it reasonable for them. And then I throw them into our classes and our trainings and help them through the recovery process because they might be a little sore and um, yeah, you just start. And I hate to say that, like it sounds kind of sarcastic sometimes, right? Just do it. But literally, we just throw them into a routine that's doable. So starting off 3 classes a week, coming from no classes to 3 is wonderful. And then
Yeah.
once that becomes a little bit easier, we go to 4, and then we go to 5, and then we're hitting really what the CDC is recommending, and we
Yes.
take it from there. People then start really feeling good and they're confident and they're happy to show up. And once that becomes their habit of just doing the 30 to 40 minutes a day, they don't want to stop, because then it really hurts when you stop.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. It's easier to get deconditioned than it is to get in condition. So you're better off staying with it. And yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's about I think 150 minutes of a week of activity, physical activity that the CDC recommends, and most people in our country get way less than that. And I know
Mm-hmm.
people work and they're tired and they've got responsibilities, but I always think to myself, if you have kids especially, don't you want to be healthy for them, you want to be around, you want to be
Mm-hmm.
able to be active with them and
Yeah.
do some fun stuff with them. So all the more reason, if you have children, to keep yourself healthy because
Oh
you want to
yeah.
be there. They rely on you to be there for them. So really important to maintain that. And it doesn't even just have to be weights. I know people can use some body weight exercises. They can do bands, which are very inexpensive, and I use them myself and I love them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Laurel, I'm sure
Yeah.
you do. You can do
Yeah.
so many different moves with the bands, and even do them with partners. There's ways to do that, and just getting started, as you said, just making that commitment. A lot of people say January 1st they're going to start, and then they change everything. They change their diet,
Yes.
they change their fitness, and they go out, all crazy in the first couple weeks, and then by mid-February they've slowed down, and then they just
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, forget it, too hard.
Right. And
I,
this is the season. This is the busiest season. It's like we just checked into it, this I would say this week, but we've been in it. But now people are saying I'm too busy to work out. And the best time to work out is when you're busy because you
yes,
need to have that check-in, like, okay, how is my body feeling? How is my body
yes,
showing up every day? And when life is crazy and you have such a to-do list because of the season, like the 30 minutes that you give to yourself of filling up is going to allow you, like we said at the beginning, just be a better everything for that season. So don't
absolutely. And you're eating more. Let's face it, you're
right.
eating more over the holiday season. Like you're at
Yeah.
parties, you're at events, people are bringing food in at work. It's in your face. And that
It's
most
a
people
tough
gain
season.
5 and 7 pounds over the holiday season. So,
I
I mean,
know.
I always say lose it before you gain it, just start
Yeah.
somewhere and start working out. So, and do you also take into account, I'm sure you do, people who have maybe an injury or those types of things. I'm sure you have ways to work around that.
Oh yeah, I didn't say this at the beginning with how we begin our program, but we do ask for all the disabilities and your history of fitness and what you can and can't do.
Yes.
Um, and with our live classes, we are vocal with, calling your name and saying, all right, let's switch this and modify. In fact, we modify in all of our sessions. We usually offer like 2 to 3 options because, a lot of people have some knee things and shoulder stuff that's pretty common. And they still show up because we want them to, because we know we can work around the injury and keep them safe.
And what are your classes involved? Do they involve weights? Are they mostly cardio or a mix of both?
So we have strength training sessions, which are really small groups. So we can help with the weight that they use. And then we have classes that are set up as circuits and some strength training sessions. We have cardio stuff like boot camps and cardio kickboxing, yoga, high intensity stuff, but they're all levels. Each one of them are all levels. And that's the beauty, is we love to welcome every single type of body into the class. And that's the beauty of our fitness, is we feel we can all do the same thing and just work at different intensities.
Yes. And that's one thing that's good about live classes as well. And also being able to kind of look at people's form and say, you need to do this or that, because you don't get that from a video. You don't really get that from somebody, just doing a video online. You get a little bit more of a personal touch. And I think people get used to those other people in the group because they're all kind of together doing it. So, and you encourage each other, as we talked about. So take the first step, right? Don't wait. Don't wait till January 1st. I know that's just, to me, that's just such a, like, why January 1st? Why not, March 7th? Like, why does it have to be that date,
Right. Or start when you're busy.
Yeah. Yes.
Start when you're busy. Why not?
I totally agree with that. So great information. If someone's interested in looking into your program, where can they find more?
Forza.fit. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and of course our website. And you can always go to my personal profile to find me also.
I love it. Just get your sneakers on. Thanks so much for joining us. Lorelle Ciccita of Forza Fitness. And she is really a great trainer, very active and excellent motivator. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, Addie.
Sure. Thank you for joining me for Living Well with Robin Stoloff, empowering you to live a healthier life. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll keep you updated on my most recent episode. Until next time, keep living well.